We just look at the history and we see this. The mistake was you made the wrong first step. Out of all these old ancient religions, these Dark Age stuff, where they didn't know anything, they came the first step of observation and decision, and it was wrong. And because of that, it kept going down the millennia wrong. And the ramifications have been to where you are now at this crossroads, where decisions have to be made about dropping all that Dark Age religious stuff. And it's economics as well. See, the first thing was, let's look at their history here in the western side of tradition here. And you go, out of ancient Egypt comes this diversion called Judaism. And out of Judaism comes Christianity and Islam. And those guys had it wrong right from the get-go. Because they looked at the world around them and they said, oh my God, they're overwhelmed. They didn't know what a flood was. They didn't know what a tornado was, earthquake was. They don't know much about disease and the reasonings of what medical care. So everything could only be judged on saying, we don't know. Well, there's gods. See, there might be a ton of gods. It might be one God. It doesn't matter. It's all, the God did it. And on top of it, they gave this gods or God judgment. It's a judgment. That flood is a judgment. That illness is a judgment. And from judgment came all the social control that have come down through millennia. Repression of women, and now we're hearing repression of homosexuals. And it gave them the excuse to say, we can kill other people of other religions or just other groups because they're not our religion. And we're the chosen people. We're the God's on our side. And then you hear that just continued. That same idea has continued. Catholics say it. Right-wing Christian wackos try and tell you that even today. And it was all made up. It is a big myth. Because here in the 21st century, we have a history now. We can look back at the history. We can also go to our scientific research where we actually looked. We actually studied, analyzed. And all of that has pulled the rug out from those Dark Age religious myths. These excuses. Excuses for repression and brutality. It was a big mistake. It was the wrong first step to make, was to say, one, there's a God. Oh, we don't know what's going on. So, there's this God, and it's a God, and it has judgment. He's making a list. He's checking it twice. He's going to find out who's naughty and nice. Oh, yeah. And on top of it was the secondary aspect of it that said, God looks like us. God is us, see. We're special. So you separate it out from the other species all around you. And try to say, humans, special. We got special privilege. We can do what we want. And again, it justified abuse, ignorant abuse and violence against others. And other species. was all the wrong view right at the beginning. And that wrong view down through history has done horrific things. You know, the Catholics and Protestants were busy murdering each other for a long time. Still bubbling along there. You got the Shia Islam and Sunni Islam ready to kill each other even to this day. You got the Jews, that the Christians brutalized the Jews for over 1,000 years before Hitler showed up. You know, Nazis showed up. Nazis didn't just create it out of the blue, you know, folks. This view of Judaism throughout Europe and Russia and America and whatnot was always in a state of repression for over 1,000 years. Hitler and the Nazis just went at it of what was already there. I mean, we forget that guys like Einstein could never be allowed to be the head of a physics department in Europe because they were Jewish. Even then, see? Even before, really, the Nazis came in, that was still like, oh, Jewish, you know, oh no. But then Judaism didn't learn anything anyway, because after World War II, now what do we find? Here's the Jews brutalizing the Islamic Palestinian people. And everybody still keeps using the excuse of this myth. The myth of their, oh, we're the chosen. Oh, yeah, we're God's favorite. Oh, yeah, God's on our side. Oh, geez, yeah. You know, this ignorance, made up. And we still keep seeing, overtly now, the stuff that can't go on anymore. That is based upon that religious stupidity. Like the repression of homosexuals, the repression of women, and the excuse of religion to justify murder and violence and repression and to deny the access to services of people and segregate people, all made up on that stupid, wrong first step. There's your history. In a nutshell. And at the 21st century, you've come to that crossroads. Because you now have changed. You've grown up. You're more intelligent. You get it now. There never was a God. There isn't a God, there never was a God. For anybody. It was just the made-up idea of people who were ignorant. They didn't know anything. You got to let that go. And in there is also, you got to let go of all their justified repressions and excuses to vilify and repress others. Like homosexuals, like women, like other groups. You got to get rid of it. Got to let it go. Let it fade away into the dark ages where it justifiably needs to be extinguished, forgotten. You don't need a creation myth anymore in the 21st century. All that did was create artificial fantasies and boundaries. It was wrong. It was just plain wrong. But the ramifications were what we're finding today. It was the excuse to continue brutalizing repression. So you got to let it go. Now in the same way, actually, economics. The economics that has come down through millennia the same way has to be let go. Because it too was built upon myth, fraud, repression, domination, abuse. It didn't matter if it was called the king, aristocracy, even communism or capitalism. Doesn't matter. They're all wrong at the basic thing because they all have that basic wrong first fabrication. And it's a fabrication. The fabrication of profit. Why are you living? To make a profit. What's your motivation in life, they say? Make a profit. Make money. That's your reason for living? For having this intelligence? For having this awareness? Oh, make money? See, that's pretty vacuous and wrong and made up right from the get-go. And it has all these fabricated stuff around it, though. You know, it has its mathematical formulas of profit and cost and effect, you know. And it has university and whatnot, education in profit is the motivation. Profit is the measure of success. In Economics 101. Just like religion made up all this stuff and justified it, economics did too. And always it abused you. The point was to exploit you. So that only one little group, the king, the aristocracy, the rich, the corporate CEOs, attitude, have all money and you don't do anything. You work for them. You go to war and die for them. See? And just look at your history. There it is. And that economic system built on profit at any price, folks, you saw the cause, profit at any price. You are now seeing the effect very clearly. The complete poison and pollution of your whole planet. Well, that's pretty stupid. That's pretty ignorant. Humans have been trying to tell each other how smart they are. And they're so dumb that they're poisoned and polluted the very sources of their water and air that keep them alive. Now, that's pretty stupid. And in the same way, they've used religion to justify babies. Oh, more babies. Oh, you gotta have babies. Babies. Oh, babies. Oh, jeez. Oh, more babies. Oh. And you're seeing that come home to roost too, with extensive, massive poverty and economic collapse that is causing and running the immigration issue that they try and keep telling you about. But avoid these basic facts that have to be changed. Because part of that religious repression it was, oh, no abortion, no birth control, oh, geez, no. Oh, no abortion, no birth control, Babies. And from Mexico south, from throughout Africa, throughout Asia, overpopulation, desperate poverty, economic disaster for millions and millions and millions into billions of people needlessly suffering. Religion plays its part, and the economics of profit at any price played its part as well. And again, you reach that crossroads because you have the historical knowledge. You can look back and say, oh, geez, look at that. You have the economic knowledge. You got the scientific research into your environment and all the related things. You got your technological development with this massive change that has never happened in human history before. The internet. You have, in your palm of your hand, you have global communications available. You can be talking to people all over the world in real time, almost instantaneously. You, not a king, not a president, not a dictator, but you. And that internet, that communication idea of massive global communication cuts through all these myths, all these excuses, all this economic fraud and corruption, criminality, pollution. And you see it clearly. You've come out of the dark. You're standing in the light at the crossroads. And you have that choice and direction now to proceed. You can't keep going down the religious way of those dark ages there. You know, that's just a disaster of poison and pollution and repression and denial of equal rights. And you can't go the economic system, which is poison and pollution and denial of equal rights and vast criminality. There you got these things that are clearly cause and effect. America's gross stupidity of the drug war, which was a great fraud, a lie. It's a failure. But it's also been used for the rich to make profit off of you. Even though it puts you in jail. Well, just look. There's President Reagan and Bush Sr., and they're allowing cocaine imports into the U.S. as part of their Iran-Contra scam. Tons of cocaine. By the great hypocrite Ron Reagan, who's then standing up there and saying, oh, geez, just say no to drugs. When he's the biggest drug trafficker to support their rich illegal activity. You got the CIA for years, even before Reagan, throughout the Vietnam era and whatnot, that was involved in the drug trade. The information's there. You can find it. Reliable, true information available to you. You find it on the internet. Many things have been done on pointing that out. And from Latin America, there's a big part of the disaster and the dissolving of Mexico South. All of Latin America has been America's stupidity of the drug war. You've given billions and billions and billions of dollars year after year to criminal gangs. And those criminal gangs, throughout a very desperate and, economically not very viable economy, and overpopulated throughout Latin America, well, they're the biggest moneymaker, consistently. They hire everybody. They hire people, and what's your job? To be a thug. Ready to kill people, abuse people, be a thug with the gang. You get paid. There isn't any other work. But there's that corrosive, acidic infiltration of the gang that is through violence, threats, bribery, that now runs Latin America. It runs the government. It's infiltrated the police. It's infiltrated the military. So desperate people, from the economics, through the stupidity of America's drug war, through the stupidity of dark age religion and babies, well, guess what? They want to get the hell out. And here they come to the southern border. But see, there's all the history, there's the facts, but nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about the issue. All they talk about, oh, we're going to put up a wall. No, we're not going to put up a wall. Oh, yeah, we're going to put up a wall. Oh, geez, no. Yes, just a wall. That's not the issue. That's not going to solve anything. It's not a work to solve anything, see? They want you to stay in the dark. Building a wall is darkness. It's part of the stupidity of darkness, right? Separation. Denial. You got to get in now with the light. You see it. You know the history. You get the thing. You got to change. And the same from religion, and the same with economics. You got to change. You got to change the motivation. You got to change the motivation from all that crap about make money, you'll just make money. Your life is just, well, make some money. Make some money. Oh, geez, make some money. So you live your life, you make your money, and you die. That's it. What did you learn? Not much. You? See? Because you've come into the 21st century of your history and of your intellectual evolution as well. That is going on. Because you're intelligent. Because you're evolving intelligently. You have access to information, education. And all of this great potential now of dropping away that dark ages of stuff and making those big changes to come into the light. Folks, that's staring you in the face. That's staring you in the face. That's what you're seeing in the mirror. That's what you're seeing for economics and for all that religious junk. You're throwing off all that myth and dark age repression excuses and all that ignorance. And you're throwing out the economics of profit at any price. Because you start to get it. It's about you, not profit. You are more important than profit. You. And it's the same in religion. Where does everything come from? What is the real thing? What are you doing? It's you. Within you. Your whole life. You're living the movie of your life. Your life. No matter what happens, whatever you do, it's your life. And at some point you're going to die. That's the guarantee. So, what are you doing? What's going on around you? What's the point? You can naturally say, well, what's the point? Well, folks, what is it? You've seen the history. You don't want to go back there to the Dark Age stuff. You've been clarified about the economics and the religion. And you get it. It's about you. It's your clean air and water. It's your healthy food. To benefit you, your family, your kids, and your grandkids and great-grandkids and great. That's economics. And it's even religion. And when you say it's about you, then it's about equal rights. You. Equal protections under the law. You. And economics that's about you. You're the first thing. Your water, your clean air, your health care. Everybody's going to need some amount of health care in their life. So that's what we do. And that's where all the budget goes. That's where legislation goes. That's what government is about. Well, wait a minute. That's what it says right there in the Constitution, Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence. We, the people. It doesn't say we, the corporations. It don't say we, the king, because America threw out the king. It don't say we, the white people. It doesn't say we the Christians. It says, correctly, we the people. There's the focus of government. There's the focus of legislation. There's the focus of your budget expenses. About you. And in doing that, it becomes, naturally, equal rights. Equal access, equal protection under the law. Equal rights. You're the first thing. No business can sit there and poison your water and say, lump it, you got a job. No business can poison and pollute your atmosphere, your air, and tell you, well, too bad, you got a job. You turn it around to the way it should be. No business can exist who poisons and pollutes your water, your atmosphere, your food. You're first. You're the primary thing. Businesses do what you need, what you want. You dictate to business and what business can be. See, that's all this crap of Republicans, and in particular right now, Trumpy boy and all these guys, and these right-wing nuts, you know. It's the extreme issue of trying to, hold on to this fraud and failure and dark age economics that has been used to keep the rich rich and you poor, that has been used to dominate you and make you suffer while just, if you get rich. Doesn't have to be that way. You can make an economy about anything, how you want to live. So, make it about you, as it should be. Where, like it says, we the people. So they get all, these Trump and the Republicans are all the last gasp of trying to institute dictatorship of corporations over you. And by doing that, well, how can they do it? The old system of generating fear and anger and racism, repression. So they play into Christian right-wing wackos. Oh, no abortion, no birth control, babies. Oh, no homosexuals, oh, geez, no. No women's rights, oh, geez, no, oh, gosh, no. See, they play into stupidity to try and stay in power when what they really are after is that corporate money dictatorship over you, to continue poisoning and polluting you. You got to let it go. You get it. You got to stop. It's only going to get worse. With an internet digital type of system as well in place, it could get a lot worse. But it could get, also, when you make the right choice, the correct choice, be about you, your kids, your family, from then on. And you be coming out of the dark. You be coming into the light. You be coming into sanity, finally. You'd be finally seeing your place of, well, what is it about? What is this life thing you have? What is the issue? What's the point? Is there a point? And you'd see there is that choice. You got the choice of humans. Because you got the history, you got the knowledge, you got the background, you can see. Do you want to continue with the Nazis and the repression and the Ku Klux Klan and the white supremacists that is like Republicans and right-wing Christian wacko fascists, religious fascists? Or do you want to come into the reality of the 21st century potential about you? Clean air, clean water for you, your kids. Healthy, natural, organic food for you, your kids. Healthcare for you, your kids. That's your budget. That's your legislation. That's your government. Well, it says it right there. We the people. And you got the root of equal rights that comes in along with it, because once again, it's right there in your documents, it says it. To be an American, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Equal rights. Equal rights for homosexuals. Equal rights for women. Equal rights. It doesn't matter what your religion is way down the line of importance in this system, by the way. Because if your religion is still this Dark Age stuff, your religion can't be used as an excuse for segregation, for repression, for denying access. Not in our government, not in America. Because we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Equal rights. There you go. It's about you. You come out of the dark. You see it. You're in the light. You're in the 21st century. Come into the light. Be a benefit to each other. Come into the light.